What's up, family? I'm out here at this park walking around. Had to find some shade because it's over 100 degrees out here. But I wanted to get on and talk about a recent thing that I saw online that has to do with Boyce Watkins. Now, for those of you who are unaware of who Boyce Watkins is, he is a finance PhD. He's in the black community. He's like an influencer slash public figure within the black community. He talks about things that have to do with like black power, the black community, issues within the black community, things such as that. And I got introduced to Boyce Watkins I would say about 4 or 5 years ago. I haven't really kept up with his work, but I've seen him on, the Breakfast Club and little snippets here and there. Well, recently I seen Boyce Watkins getting into sort of a back and forth with someone on YouTube, a certified financial planner named Pocket Watching with JT, Jason Thornton. He's a certified financial planner. I watch a lot of his content. And Boyce Watkins pretty much said that, we shouldn't be concerned with holding black people accountable. We shouldn't be concerned with holding black people who have scammed other black people accountable. So here's the story and here's what's going on. So Boyce Watkins sort of was endorsing a person within the black community named Jay Morrison, who had started a real estate fund. It's called the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, which the Tulsa Real Estate Fund has been a very controversial fund because many people are saying they lost money. The financials are showing that the fund has never actually really made money. And on top of that, the person running it is a 3-time felon who used to sell drugs, but who also has been accused and had been taken to court for scamming or not holding up to his end of the deal when it comes to business partners taking money, etc. Go check that content out on Pocket Watching with JT. But that long introduction gets me into why I wanted to make this video, was to talk about a larger issue that exists within the black community, which is it is socially unacceptable and demonized within the black community for us to hold each other accountable. Because here's what Boyce Watkins pretty much said. When black people scam black people, or they do something to other black people, we shouldn't be concerned with that. No. What we should be concerned with are all the white people who are doing it to us, because they're doing it on a much larger level. That's what he's saying. Now, I'm not going to disagree that it's not being perpetuated against us by white people at a larger level. But what I am going to do is offer a perspective and some pushback that can hopefully be useful for Boyce in his analysis moving forward. See, my pushback is this. While it may be true that white people scam black people, here's the issue with saying or putting a message out there that it's not okay for black people to hold other black people accountable. My issue with that is this. I'm someone who believes that what needs to be done for black people has to be done by black people. Meaning, if we want more schools built, we have to be the one funding them and building them and putting the effort in. We want hospitals, we want education to improve. We have to be the one as a community doing that, not the government, not white people, not Mexican people, not Hispanics. Black people have to be doing that. Well, the only way we're ever going to be able to undertake those types of projects, which require a great amount of energy, funding, and visibility and transparency, is by being able to look another black man or woman in the eyes and say, I'm holding you accountable at the highest level, right? If we're ever going to be a self-sustaining community in the United States and in the diaspora, then we have to be able to hold other black people accountable without it being this taboo thing, without you being labeled as a coon or someone who's a sellout and a traitor to the black community or an agent of the white man. right? We have to be able to hold black people accountable more than we hold white people accountable. Because if the goal is for the black community to one day be at a place where we are self-sufficient, we're not sitting here depending on other groups of people to provide for us, to offer jobs, opportunities, etc. And we actually want to be a force of good, and we actually, want to be able to produce and export things from our community to other communities so that we can tap into revenue streams. We have to be able to hold black people accountable. So no, I disagree with Boyce's analysis and hypothesis that we shouldn't focus on holding black people accountable. We should really be focusing only on holding white people accountable. Because here's what I didn't like. The person, JT, who was calling out these scammers, right? He also calls out white people. But Boyce's critique is, well, you haven't made as many videos critiquing white people as you have with critiquing black people. Okay, let's say that that's true, and I believe it might be. But let's say that it's true. My follow-up question then would be, well, okay, Boyce, what is your argument now if he were to create equal amounts of videos critiquing white businesses and black businesses? What is your critique now? Are you actually going to get into the substance and the subject matter that he's speaking on? Are you going to, it's just, it doesn't make sense. Unless you're somebody who has something to lose, if someone is calling out black scammers, I don't see why you would even have that critique of, well, you need to critique other black businesses, unless you have something to lose. So my question to Boyce is, what do you have to lose by black people holding other black people accountable? That is my question. Because that would be like, let's say we're tackling the obesity crisis within the black community, right? And we're holding a conference, or we're holding an event where we're talking to black men and black women about high blood pressure and obesity. And then instead of sticking to the point, it's like, well, white people are obese. How come you're not holding a conference for them? White people are obese too. Blah, blah. It's like, okay, white people are obese too. How is that going to help you though? I don't understand. I don't understand when people say those types of things. Well, you're not wrong, but you should tell on them too. It's just like, that's not helping, right? So again, I'm somebody who believes utterly that at the highest level of black achievement is black accountability. Regardless of what other groups of people are doing, regardless of what we want to say, the damages that they're doing, we all understand that. But right now, if white supremacy was erased from the earth, right, that doesn't mean that black people would be successful. That doesn't mean the black community would be successful, because there's nothing there to replace it. There's nothing, we can't even hold each other accountable, right? What are we gonna do? Especially in the United States, we live in this dynamic where everything is black and white. But without that black and white dynamic, how do we function then? We can't hold other black people accountable. Whenever there's an issue, it's more focused on, well, they're doing this and we should be doing it. It's just like, I don't understand how Boyce Watkins, who's a PhD, is sitting here really saying, well, you shouldn't focus on holding black people accountable. You should focus on holding white people accountable. Okay. To me, that's pretty much saying we're always going to be under the thumb of white people, and we shouldn't need to hold black people accountable or think about holding black people accountable because they don't really matter, right? Well, Boyce, tell that to the families and the people that get scammed by other black people. Tell that to them, because their money is still money, right? The money that they lost, that they can't use to pay their bills, pass on to their children, it doesn't matter if it was taken from a white person or a black person. That's still money that they don't have. And I think that it's important when people like JT speak on these issues, because it's different when it comes from a black person. It just is, right? The message can be different. If a white person got online and was trying to hold black people accountable, he would, oh, you're racist, right? But when black people do it, you can't call them racist. So now what do you call them? Oh, you're scared of the white man. You're an agent for the white man. You're scared to call out white people. So that's why you're calling out black people. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. I'm going to put the link of the video that I'm referencing, Pocket Watching with JT. Go check his channel out if you have not. Very useful information. And let me know what you think of the comment, like, subscribe, all that great stuff. Thank you.